Kingdom Team All Call time. You know what this means, right? Well, you got questions, we got answers for you. And if you have questions for us, make sure that you get them sent on over to us at KingdomReportLive.com or at Kingdom Report Live on social media. You can also leave any sort of comments that you have for us via our YouTube channel over at The Kingdom Report on YouTube. First question this week comes to us from Wake Up Jose. And they ask, even with masks and round-the-clock cleaning, it's impossible to say Disney World is safe until a vaccine is available. So when would you feel safe enough to return to the parks? Obviously, it's a personal question for everybody, given what's going on and the uncertainty of the matter. And so we are all here today to give our takes on that. We'll start with Garrett. Garrett, when would you feel most comfortable returning to the parks, knowing what you know?
When Disney actually does reopen, that's when I'll know it's safe. Disney's highest concern is safety. Wade, you can attest to this. When you go through training with Disney, you go through a class called Traditions, and you learn about Disney's 4 keys. These are Disney's 4 most important things that they go to whenever they design an attraction, create an experience, anything. And number 1 is always safety. And Disney would not reopen if they did not feel it was safe. That's why they opened Shanghai last week, because they felt it was safe enough. So when Disney gives the green light saying, hey, we're going to reopen the parks, granted it will be in a new quarantine mode, I will feel safe knowing that Disney has done everything they can to make it safe. Granted, without a vaccine, it's not perfectly safe, like you said, Jose, but I'll feel safe when Disney gives me the okay, because I know they've gone through every possible scenario that they can to try and make it as safe as possible. What it really comes down to is the individual and how we help keep that plan implemented. So when Disney opens, that's when I'm going to feel safe and good to go.
Tyler, let's jump over to you. Are you somebody that subscribes to that concept of, hey, parks are open, things are safe according to Disney, I might as well join them?
First of all, let me say buenos dias, señorita. And then I have to disagree with Garrett. Like as I was saying earlier, Disney can make it as safe as they possibly can, but I just am not going to trust the other people that I'm there with, really, necessarily. Like the other guests, it's really the guests that I am worried about more than Disney. I really do think that Disney can do everything in their power to make this as safe as possible, and they can make these rules, and they can have people without temperature, they take your temperature and everything, but I just don't know if I can trust the other guests yet. And I think that's why, for me, it's going to take me maybe a couple days before, and I'm going to take the lay of the land and look on social media, see this anecdotal stuff. I know it's all anecdotal, but at the same time,
that's a funny word.
But at the same time, I'm going to take it in a little bit before I show up, because especially like day one, how many people are going to be really following the rules? Day one of City Walk, I saw a number of people not following the rules. So yeah. It's one of those things where we have to I want to test it. I want to see how the waters play out.
Very good. And Katrina, are you somebody that's going to leave Tyler sitting there so that you can finally get back to Walt Disney World?
Oh my goodness, I can't leave my babe behind.
Oh,
but
anecdotally,
I'll go without you guys.
You live there. You're fine. Yeah, you're gonna teach us anyway.
Yeah, no, hey, don't worry. I'll FaceTime you guys from there and show you how magical it is.
That's cool.
Wow.
I would say, for me, I would want to wait until reports are out, right? Because they can open within 4 days. I'm not going to feel safe until probably a couple weeks when they find out how many people caught it or they didn't catch it, just to see what I would wait until there's reports coming in. Because when was it Georgia opened or something, they opened up full, they noticed 1,000 new cases within the first couple weeks. So I'm gonna sit back, relax, and wait for about a month or so until new reports come in and see how it goes.
So perhaps a month out for you. And producer Curt, if you have the opportunity to visit Disney World, say it reopens in July 1st, are you planning a trip or are you going to hold out?
Well, I mean, I already have a trip planned for next year,
Yeah.
and as it's going right now, I'm probably going to still go on that trip because I think by then everything should be situated. Would I go back right when they reopen? I don't like to go anything right when anything reopens. Like that mad rush. Even if we had a vaccine and everything, I wouldn't want to go there just because there'd be so many people, it'd be so crowded, and I don't want to have to deal with that on a normal basis. So add a virus on top of that, no thanks. But I think that they'll try to make it as safe as they can. You just got to wear the mask. You got to be diligent. And I mean, if I could go to Disney World right now, I probably would.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's go, Curt.
Yeah,
let's go. You and me.
I would be there right now if it was a possibility.
We'll send you and Garrett together.
All right, we'll have a good time.
I like that idea. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll send those two in first. You show us it's safe.
Absolutely.
Report back.
Yeah.
So you'll be like the guys in the third Indiana Jones that we keep sending in over and over again, and your heads get chopped off, and then we'll be like, "Oh, it's not safe yet."
Not yet.
So we're the canary birds.
Spoiler alert!
The canary
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh well, it's been like 30 years, so you know I don't care.
Kick it into gear, Garrett. Jeez. But I will say, when it comes to this question, this whole idea of are you feeling comfortable, feeling safe returning to the parks when they do officially open? I'll say this as somebody that has been a part of a lot of one-day only limited opportunity, new experiences for Disney on the operational side, as somebody that was a Disney leader for a number of years that was responsible for trying to execute these new and exciting things and these one-day things, these limited experience things, to be a part of something that is basically like a grand opening of a theme park again, especially knowing that it already has such a built-in love of such a huge group of people that obviously they're going to want to be there. I'll tell you from my perspective, I will not be there opening day. I will probably not be there for opening month, just because there is an awful lot to consider in those first few weeks, and that really plays down to Disney trying to get it right. Disney trying to fix the errors and the issues, because this is all unprecedented, right? This is all territory nobody's traveled through before. And I find that when Disney has something new to open, even with the best of intentions, things do kind of fall apart right at the beginning. Things are kind of messy to start with. Walt Disney himself will tell you that of Disneyland's opening day. Things were just pandemonium. Things were in meltdown all over the place. In fact, all the critics said Disneyland probably won't succeed based on that first day and how terrible it was. I think that Disney will have a lot of time to plan and plot, and they have the Asian parks to use as reference, as Bob Iger had been saying. So that's really helpful. But, we're a different beast over here. And I think that until even capacity, because they mentioned that they're going to be reopening with limited capacity all over the place, until capacity even gets back online to a place that's much more full and much more is being offered, I don't think it's really even worth much of a trip until I know that I can do all the things that I want to do. So, it's nothing personal. It's nothing angry or upset or emotional. It's just more of a, I'll wait for them to get the kinks out. And then hopefully while they do that, things will start opening up in more and more capacity, and I'll be able to enjoy myself. I'll be able to plan that trip accurately and be able to do all the things that I want to do. So, great question. Thank you for that. Wake up, Jose.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.